Hey, everyone. Once again, it's Thursday, and we have a fabulous show, Future Media TV, and we have Healthcare Peace of Mind with Steve Baker. I'm Russ Johns, the fun-loving criminal here that helps Steve out. So I wanted to review a couple of things that we've been talking about, Steve, and some of the things that we enjoy and appreciate about what you're doing in the Medicare world. I had a quick question before we get off on your subject that I'm just kind of curious about. Every time I see Medicare, it's meta and care is capitalized. Is that just a branding issue, or is there a meaning?
Yes, the federal government, I guess, deemed that Medicare should always be capitalized. It's one word, so wherever it appears, I guess they've taken possession of the word, so they've deemed that it absolutely must be capitalized. So it's Medicare. So
it's a trademark issue. It's like,
yes,
you can type out Coca-Cola, but if you use the font and everything,
right,
trademark.
Yeah, and it's like in everything else, across the board. More and more, we're seeing it in our society. You don't want to mess with Uncle Sam, so he does. Uncle Sam, when he says it's something, it's something. So it's like it's copyright. Outside of the government, you've got to go to court. And,
sure.
Blah blah blah. And, no, it's hey. Shut up. That's the way it is. Okay.
Well, we could go on an entirely different show about that. So
exactly. So anyway, they say it's capitalized, so it's capitalized.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious if it actually has some additional meaning to it, and that answers the question. So
yeah.
So we left off. We had a couple of things that we were talking about last time, and different versions of this whole Medicare, A through Z, and you've been sharing some great information. Is there anything coming up recently in the changes in the laws, or anything that's any updates that we need to hear about today?
Well, there's always an evolution, and it's like anything. So, and again, you're getting back to the subject. You're dealing with the federal government, so if they want the changes to move slowly, they move slowly.
Right.
And if they want them to move quickly, they move quickly. So I'll use environmental EPA, the Environmental Pollution Agency.
Right.
Sometimes they move real quickly because they want to.
Yeah.
And sometimes they move slowly because they want to. So in the Medicare world, most of it evolves very slowly from year to year to year to year. So there are some changes, but it's not dramatic. So I know that there's been huge changes in our medical coverage in the general population over the last couple of years. Right.
Affordable Health Care Act and everything that goes along with that. Mm-hmm. And has that had any impact or any change impacting Medicare? No,
not to this stage. It hasn't. It's pretty much. I was. Many of us were concerned when all the subjects started coming up if it would drip over into Medicare, but so far it hasn't. There's, it's this and. It's what we call of age and underage. Of age is 65 and above. Underage, it's another world that I don't get into, frankly. I have friends who do that, and they stay in that. And one guy had a full head of hair when I first knew him. I met him about 3 or 4 years ago. He had a full head of hair, and now he looks like me because he's been
pulling that hairstyle.
No, that's right. because he's been pulling his hair out over this nickname Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act. Yeah. There's been another huge carrier that's wanting to get out of the program because they're losing massive amounts of money with it.
So
And
what's the cause of that loss?
Well, the cause of the loss is that they decided, number one, they decided, as in their wisdom, they just decided that there would be no pre-existing conditions. So right away, anybody with any sense at all will just say there are no pre-existing conditions whenever you get ready to sign up. Correct. Okay. Well, I'm perfectly healthy, so I'll just wait until I have something go wrong with me, and then I can sign up. Right.
Right.
They're like, okay, now writing a program like that makes about as much sense as, okay, now what we will do, we will say that all auto insurance.
You don't need auto insurance until you get in an accident.
Right. And then you can go file for a policy and it'll pay for it.
Yeah.
So why pay those huge premiums on your automobile insurance or your homeowners or your flood insurance,
right,
we know a lot about in the area where we live,
right,
or anything like that? Why, hey, health, it works the same rules.
Right.
And so the younger people are saying, I'm not going to pay $400 or $500 a month. I don't have, people in their 20s, they're in college or whatever. I'm not going to do that. Well, so the federal government, again, in their wisdom, said, okay, we're going to fine you for it.
Right.
And the young people say, sure, go ahead, fine me. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it. Which means now the people who have major illness, if they have cancer, heart disease, if they've had a stroke, blah, 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 they just sign up. I mean, hey, I can sign up. I can get my insurance. Well, so it's, it's going to be heavy on the people that are going to file all the claims, right?
Well, and the whole philosophy behind everybody signing up and requiring everybody to sign up was to fund the people that needed it the most.
Exactly.
It's the pendulum, right?
Exactly.
And the millennials are, the younger people that are either not in a position or unwilling or unable to pay even, $400 a month is.
Yeah. And they're funny, I had a friend and I took him to one of my clients. I took her to one of my clients, and he had custody of his grandson. His grandson was 21. This is his grandson. Now he's a client of mine because that means he's over 65.
Right.
But his grandson said, I thought this was going to be free. And I'm thinking, free?
Nothing's free.
Nothing's free. So he said, you want me to pay $400 a month and have a $3,000 deductible? And I said, well, talk to my friend over here who does that. I don't know. Sure enough, that's what it is. $400 a month. And the insured has to pay the first $3,000. What? And how many young people that age are going to have $3,000 worth of health bills in a year? Almost none, unless they have something major, of course.
Yeah.
And they're in the total minority.
They're in the total minority.
Yeah. They may cut their arm or stab themselves or do something silly out water skiing or something, break a leg or whatever. Sure, that that happens, but for the most part, they just go on. You don't really experience major health issues until you're in your 50s and 60s,
right? Sometimes
even 70s. So
yeah. So that. The Affordable Health Care Act, which is an oxymoron, is really more about everybody under 65, correct?
Correct.
So
now here's what it's all about, really. I'm just sorry, I don't want to get into the political stuff, but those who are left leaning want a single payer system, just like they have in Britain or Canada or in many, many other countries, a single payer system.
Yeah.
Everybody participates. Everybody pays something, and everybody's covered. So that's where it's headed. Because if all the carriers are going to pull out now, the government, a lot of people in the government are going to say, "See, it didn't work, so we're just going to have to go ahead and crash this program and go ahead and move into a single payer system for everybody." And at that point, then Medicare will definitely be involved because they're just going to put it for everybody.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily want to be, I don't want to necessarily get into the political conversation about it, because I know that, no matter where you are in the world, there's a perspective, and no system is perfect, right?
Correct.
So a lot of people that have a single payer system feel that, hey, that's just the cost of doing business, right? That's just the cost of living where I live. And I'm thinking to myself, well, okay, there's some merit to that. However, there's downsides to that as well. So
yeah, and those places that have single payer system, such as England's had it since 1948.
Right.
I don't know when Canada initiated it, but let's say in England, someone can wait 3 years for a hip replacement.
Wow.
Or they can wait indefinitely for a heart bypass.
Yeah.
I mean, happens all the time.
Right.
And in the meantime, they die or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just okay, that's it. That's the way it is. You go in the hospital, you don't get a room for 2 weeks. You just stay out in the hall until.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a downside. There's trade-offs with any system, right?
There's trade-offs for any system.
Yeah.
And there are already major hints now for the seniors. For if somebody, I'll just tell you, I know I only look 50, but I'm actually above 70. I'm on the north side of 70 myself. So
I thought you were just 66.
So now it's there are hints. There's not anything in writing or anything, and I've not seen anything like this, but
yeah,
they're threatening now for if you're, let's say you have a major kidney disease and you need a kidney transplant or whatever. If you're above a certain age, this is the rumors that are going around. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not in existence now.
Right.
But they're just a few steps away from it. But if you're above a certain age, no kidney transplant for you.
Huh.
If you're 75 or if you're 76 or whatever.
So after you reach a range of viability,
exactly,
you're disqualified from major medical.
Yeah, that's not in law now.
No, and it's
Medicare still Medicare, and it's all working now. But
well, my mother just had, and you're close to the same age as my mother, and she had major back surgery, and I know that she's on Medicare, and they have some. And my dad's he's a veteran, so he's on a different health care coverage.
Right.
And so, I mean, she seems like, when I talk to her, because I'm, having these conversations with you, I, ask her about her health care and her, her rehab and some of the things that she's been involved with. Mm-hmm. And it seems like she's getting very decent care.
Sure.
I don't have anything to measure it against.
However,
when we were talking last week, it was kind of a dark conversation around Medicaid and some of the things that are the downside of that program.
Mm-hmm.
And but what I hear from her is that she's been treated very well, and she's recovering. And
sure,
as you get older, the recovery process may take a little longer than you're used to.
Sure.
So,
well, and yeah, it's really it's amazing that the Medicare system works as well as it does. I mean, it really is good. I mean, it's very good for people. over 65. I know I have several people approaching 65, and they're just waiting until they do turn 65 to start getting things that they need, shoulder repair, knee replacements, hip replacements.
Right.
All of this, they're limping around just waiting to be 65. As soon as they're 65, they can go ahead and schedule it. And within 3 or 4 or 5 months, they're up and walking around and doing great. So it's just that cutoff right there between
that makes so much sense, Steve. That makes so much sense, because I was at one chapter in the book of my life. I was doing technical infrastructure, building a technical infrastructure for orthopedic surgeons, building surgical centers.
Right.
And I saw so many surgeries come in, knee surgeries, hip surgeries come in for, elderly, 65, and I'm sure now looking back on it, it was for that exact reason. And so they would have these surgeries, and they were very efficient at it. I mean, they bring these people in, and they'd be walking, the next week. It was just amazing to see some of these people come in.
Oh yeah, it's really a miracle that that surgery and those knee replacements, and they have taken to the degree of improvement that it's astounding how they're able to to do that now. Because as you know that it's just bone on bone once that cartilage wears out, and it's terrible as far as the pain goes when those knees start working like that, and it's just bone on bone, and and so people have to put up with it until
that's what I have in my ankle or my elbow and my wrist. Because I don't have it. I shattered both joints, so it's just bone on bone. So.
Yeah, you have a lot of pain with it.
Not a lot. Yeah. No, I think I've killed enough nerves in there. Avoid too much What happens though is if I'm talking on the phone like this, for any length of time, I have to physically straighten my arm out because I can't. It locks up, so it's fun.
Right. Yeah.
The nature of being a human, right?
That's it.
So where do we, and I don't want to go down that political path. However, there's some really great doctors in healthcare. Is there a percentage in the U.S. of doctors that are on the plan and are not on the plan? Is there a split? Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40?
Well, yeah, there are actually very few doctors that just refuse to take Medicare altogether. We've explained a number of times here the difference between the Medicare Advantage plan and traditional Medicare with a supplement. And the Medicare Advantage plan is volatile. It's like getting on an inner tube and floating down the rapids on a stream that's coming off of the mountains, and it's just up and down and across. And there's some major disadvantages to that, and there's some advantages too. But the traditional Medicare is more calm and peaceful and peace of mind like.
Yeah.
So, but physicians like for the most part, they like the traditional Medicare, with the supplement. There are reasons why other physicians will go into the Advantage plans. But I'm not going to go into that right now. But they're both of them, and one of them works over the long haul much better than the other.
Yeah. What about eye care? Glasses. We're both people that wear glasses, and as you age and change and things like that, prescriptions evolve.
Right.
Is that a supplement to Medicare, or is it a different process?
Well, vision care is, I recommend to my clients that they go see an ophthalmologist rather than an optician. Although opticians are just, they like Medicare too, and it works just as well there. an ophthalmologist, as you may or may not know, is actually an MD.
Right.
And so they can go into other areas of eye care and so forth. So there, the Medicare itself is readily acceptable, and the optometrist can take Medicare too, and most of them do actually.
Oh.
So that's for the eye exam. Now the glasses themselves,
Yeah.
that's another issue. Medicare will pay for one pair of glasses if someone has cataract surgery. So they will pay for one pair. After that, you're on your own. But if you don't have cataract surgery and you need a correction prescription, you must purchase your own set of glasses if you're on Medicare.
Huh.
So there you go.
Get your glasses then.
Get your glasses.
Save up your pennies, and they can be expensive too.
Very expensive. Some of them are $600 or $700.
Yeah.
For some of the more stylish glasses are $600 or $700.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine who I thought was brilliant, he actually he would go purchase sunglasses. Mm-hmm. He might pay $100 for a pair of sunglasses. Uh-huh. And then he would go take the frames and have him take them to his optometrist, and then have his prescription put in them.
Sure.
And I thought that was a brilliant idea. I mean, because
there are things you can do.
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate. I was when I was working in corporate America, I had what's it called, the Flex Plan, when that was still in it, and so it's been a number of years, and so I'm due for eye checkup, so I'm going to have to go through that process. But I had to either use it or lose it in the Flex Plan. So
yes. I
had a couple of pairs of glasses, and I had to get my eyes checked, and
yes,
I did that a couple of different years. And but it's
and those plans are really great. Also, that works for dental plans too. And Medicare absolutely does not do dental plans. So that's just on your own. And a lot of times I'll do a standalone dental policy for Medicare recipients.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Huh.
And so that'll work. But for Medicare itself, no dental and very little vision, except in the case of glaucoma. Not glaucoma, but cataracts.
Cataracts.
Yeah.
Why cataracts?
I don't know. It's just something that most older people have at one time or another. Almost 100% they have cataract issues.
Yeah.
You may not be old enough to remember this, but I remember when I was a kid, older people. I would see older people, and they would have big, thick glasses here, because when they would, when they got the cataracts got so bad that they couldn't see. It's like looking through a potato bag. It's just like, you can hardly see anything.
Right.
So in those years, they didn't know anything else to do but just take the cataracts out, and they couldn't replace it with anything.
Right.
So they would replace it with these big old huge, that made their eyeballs look like golf balls.
Right.
They would wear those glasses around.
Yeah.
And very uncomfortable, very heavy. The glasses had to be, real heavy because of the thickness of the lenses and stuff. So,
right.
But
they've come a long way since then.
Tremendous. And now, I haven't had to have it myself, but most of my clients will go in and have cataract surgery. It's day surgery. They go in, have it done, and come home the same day. So
I actually had my right eye has a condition, and I don't recall the exact name, corneal corpios or something like that, where I had to have my cornea replaced. I replaced my cornea, and this doctor in Seattle created this thing that cut the eye and like it was just amazing. And it was day surgery. And I
Sure.
mean, I was blurry for a week or so, and then it just
Yeah.
started getting better. My vision still,
Yeah.
I can't read anything from that eye, but
Yeah.
I
There are doctors that do that. Yeah, do that surgery, and that's all they do. It's just that surgery.
Yeah.
And they'll do 10, 12, 15 a day.
Yeah.
Of those surgeries.
They just, it's assembly line. Come in, do it, do it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and Medicare will pay for it, and it's almost a miracle, really. I mean,
it has to be night and day from before and after.
Oh, absolutely.
For some of these people.
Yeah.
And what happens is, at least from what I understand, talking to my parents, is that it's gradual over time, so you don't notice, the loss of vision. It's not like you wake up one morning and all of a sudden it's just instant, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And the other thing that happens is that my wife had this, and now I've just had a brother-in-law have it too. They go in where your eyelids start growing down, the skin of the eyelids start growing down, and you don't notice it actually.
Oh yeah.
And that creates a vision issue. So now and that's another day surgery that you can do. They actually go in, and it's like it's like skin grafts, or what do you do when you get
plastic surgery?
Plastic surgery. Yeah. So they actually slit the eyelid and then fold it back over so that it lifts all the skin back up.
And then tightens it up.
So that you can see once again.
Wow.
And
what's the most amazing thing that you've seen in medicine in your lifetime?
Well, the most amazing thing for me was, which I've experienced firsthand, is bypass surgery.
Bypass surgery.
And I had 20 years ago, I had the old style where they had the zipper all the way down.
Yeah.
And then they go in and pry open your breast. They have a little wrench thing that they pry it open. Yeah. And it exposes the heart. They actually stop your heart, because then they put you on a machine.
Right.
It serves the same purpose as a heart. It takes the blood out and takes it back into your body while they're doing the surgery.
Yeah.
So then I had 4 bypasses, which is like, if you're living in the Houston area, that's like 610. It just goes around. It just bypasses the areas that are blocked off. It goes around them. And then I had that done 20 years ago. And it's worked perfectly. And I just had last month, I had the stress test, went to my cardiologist and had a stress test, and I passed 100%.
Wow. Congratulations.
My cardiologist is amazed. And now they do a lot of stents where they just go in and do it stent wise.
Well, that's what my dad had. And then I talked to one gentleman that they did the heart surgery with robots.
Yeah.
Robotics, where they just do a small incision and they go in and around your lungs, and it's insane what they can accomplish.
Yeah, they do that. But I had the old style where you start here and they go all the way down.
So that takes a long time to heal up.
It takes a long time to heal up, and the stitches, you have to take the stitches out, and looks terrible. It looks like Frankenstein, all of it.
Sure.
It's like, but I tell people all the time, so far I haven't had a taker, but I tell people all the time, for $5, I'll show you my scar. But nope. But so far I haven't had a taker. But
my son has that same scar, only it's from the bottom of his sternum to his down past his navel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had an accident on a bicycle and literally split his spleen in half, and had to have. He was in ICU, and it was kind of scary there for a while, and wasn't sure.
Is he okay now?
Huh?
Is he okay now?
Yeah, he's okay. But the fact that we survive is just amazing anyway. So
yes, it is.
I'm glad that we do, And if it weren't for insurance and healthcare and doctors and people taking some active participation about that, it's really, we got to give credit where credit is due. And I'm glad that we have the systems in place, Steve.
Sure. So, yeah.
It looked like Rachel, how are you? We're just wrapping up Healthcare Peace of Mind with Steve Baker today, and replays can be found at Future Media Association. And I just want to thank Steve for being here today, and appreciate all the time and effort that you got into it, Steve. And every Thursday at 5 p.m. we talk about healthcare, we talk about MediCare, and some of the things that are going on in the world of insurance coverage. Steve is bakerseniors.com. You can reach and contact Steve at bakerseniors.com. And love to have you connect with Steve. He's a wealth of information and a valuable resource to have if you're approaching 65. Even if you're 65 and you want to review your coverage, he can assist you in making some quality decisions in your coverage today. So Steve, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'd love to catch up with you, and we'll catch up soon. And I want to hear the news about the speed dialer.
Okay, great. Terrific.